The concrete walls of Laboratory 17 crumbled like wet paper, smoke billowing through the shattered windows as Dr. Elena Rodriguez crawled from the wreckage. Blood trickled down her forehead, mixing with the fine ash of what had been her life's work. Around her, the bodies of her research team lay motionless. Colleagues, friends, brilliant minds reduced to broken shells in moments. She had known the risks. Dark matter research wasn't just cutting-edge science. It was a powder keg of potential that could rewrite everything humanity understood about physics, space, and existence itself. The encrypted hard drive clutched to her chest was all that remained of years of groundbreaking research. The attack had been surgical. No conventional terrorist group could have penetrated a facility this secure. As Elena's vision cleared, she noticed something peculiar. Fragments of technology scattered among the rubble that didn't match any Earth-based design. Alien tech, microscopic circuitry with geometries that defied human engineering principles. A hidden camera, miraculously still functional, had captured everything. When Elena played back the footage, her breath caught in her throat. The attackers weren't human. Translucent beings with crystalline exoskeletons moved with inhuman precision, specifically targeting the dark matter research systems. They weren't destroying the facility. They were selectively eliminating specific research data. One of the beings turned directly toward the hidden camera. Its multifaceted eyes seemed to lock onto Elena, even through a recording. A message was clear. Humanity was not supposed to unlock this knowledge. But they had missed something. The encrypted drive contained more than just research data. It was a complete blueprint for manipulating dark matter at a quantum level, a technology that could revolutionize space travel, energy production, and potentially warfare. Elena's murdered colleagues had hidden the most critical data in a way that would only be decipherable by someone who understood their unique research methodology. As emergency services approached, Elena made a decision. She would complete the work her team died protecting. Whatever force wanted to suppress this discovery would fail. Her first call was to the last person she wanted to contact, her estranged brother, Jack Harper. A disgraced Special Forces commander with a network of underground contacts and a reputation for unconventional solutions, Jack was her only hope of protecting the research and bringing those responsible to justice. Their relationship had been fractured for years, but the stakes were far beyond personal history now. When Jack answered, Elena's voice was calm but steel-edged. "They killed everyone, and they don't know I survived." The silence on the other end spoke volumes. Jack knew exactly what she was talking about, and what needed to be done. The fragments of alien technology told a story. Someone, or something, was terrified of humanity understanding dark matter manipulation. The question was why. What secret was so dangerous that an advanced civilization would murder an entire research team to keep it hidden? Elena looked at the encrypted drive. Numbers and complex quantum equations danced across its surface, a code that represented humanity's potential ticket to the stars. More than a scientific breakthrough, this was a declaration of human resilience. Whatever was coming, humanity would be ready. As the first responders approached, Elena slipped away, the drive secured and her resolve hardened. The real work was about to begin. The beings who attacked her facility had made a critical mistake. They had left a witness, and she was going to make them regret it. The converted deep-sea platform rose from the Pacific like a mechanical leviathan, its exterior disguised to look like nothing more than an abandoned offshore oil rig. Beneath the rusted exterior, the U.S. quantum breach took shape, humanity's most audacious technological gamble. Commander Jack Harper moved through the construction bay with the precision of a surgeon and the intensity of a man with nothing left to lose. His left arm, a sophisticated prosthetic that hinted at past battles, interfaced directly with the ship's emerging systems. Scars traced geometric patterns across his face, each one a testament to a military career that had ended in disgrace, but never in defeat. "Status report." He barked into the communication array. Dr. Rodriguez's voice crackled through the speakers, her tone a blend of scientific excitement and military discipline. Dark matter drive is at 73% integration. The quantum lattice is stabilizing faster than our initial projections. Jack's fingers traced the ship's primary hull, a material that was neither solid nor completely energy, but something revolutionary that existed between states of matter. The alien technology fragments they'd recovered were key to this breakthrough. What the original attackers didn't realize was that every piece of tech they'd left behind was now being used against them. A warning system pinged. External sensors had detected movement. "We've got company," muttered a young technician, Maria Gonzalez. Her fingers flew across holographic displays, routing additional power to the platform's defensive systems. The approaching vessels weren't human. Sleek and nearly invisible against the dark ocean, they moved with a precision that suggested artificial intelligence far beyond current human capabilities. Jack recognized the signature, the same type of craft that had attacked Alina's original research facility. "Initiate shadow protocol," Jack commanded. The entire platform began to shift. Massive hydraulic systems, developed from reverse-engineered alien technology, started to reconfigure the structure. What moments ago looked like an abandoned oil rig now began to dissolve and reshape, molecular structures realigning to create something entirely different. The alien vessels closed in, weapons charging. But they were about to learn a fundamental lesson about human ingenuity. The platform didn't just hide. It became something else entirely. Quantum entanglement generators spun up, creating a field that made the entire structure simultaneously exist and not exist. The alien ship's targeting systems went haywire, unable to lock onto a target that was fundamentally shifting between dimensional states. "Alina, now!" Jack shouted. Dr. Rodriguez's remote systems activated. The nascent U.S. quantum breach began its first true test. Dark matter generators hummed to life, creating a localized field that warped the very fabric of space-time around the ship. The alien vessels suddenly found themselves trapped in a pocket of distorted reality. Their advanced technology, so threatening moments ago, now seemed like primitive toys compared to what humanity was developing. Jack allowed himself a small smile. They had just proved that humanity was no longer playing by anyone else's rules. Complete dimensional shift in 3, 2, 1. Maria called out. The entire platform, ship, construction facilities, and all, simply vanished from conventional space, not destroyed. Not teleported in any traditional sense, simply existing somewhere else, in a state that defied current scientific understanding. Back in a hidden communications center thousands of miles away, a group of shadowy government officials watched the live feed. Some looked terrified. Others looked triumphant. "They've done it," one whispered. "We actually did it." The head of the secret project, a weathered woman named Director Collins, nodded grimly. "The galaxy doesn't know what's coming." Beneath the ocean, within a reality few could comprehend, the U.S. quantum breach continued to take shape. A weapon, a statement, a promise that humanity would no longer be overlooked. The rogue operation was more than just a ship's construction. It was the first step in a revolution that would reshape everything humans thought they knew about their place in the universe. The vastness of space stretched before the U.S. quantum breach like an infinite canvas of darkness and possibility. Commander Jack Harper stood on the bridge, his cybernetic interface pulsing with a soft blue light that matched the quantum displays surrounding him. Dr. Alina Rodriguez sat at the primary research station, her fingers dancing across holographic controls that seemed to breathe with living energy. Quantum signature stabilizing, Maria Gonzalez reported from the navigation console. "We're about to make first active contact beyond our solar system." The Galactic Council Patrol never saw them coming. 3 sleek vessels, representatives of what they considered the most advanced civilizations in known space, moved in standard formation, a testament to their technological arrogance. Jack's voice was calm, almost casual. "Initiate first phase demonstration." The U.S. quantum breach didn't just approach, it became something else entirely. One moment, the ship was a discrete object millions of kilometers away. The next, it existed simultaneously in multiple points of space. The alien patrol's sensors went completely haywire. Tracking systems collapsed, unable to resolve a target that defied the fundamental laws of spatial perception. "They're scanning us," Elena noted, her scientific curiosity overwhelming any sense of potential threat. "Interesting. Their sensor arrays are completely overwhelmed." The lead alien vessel, a crystalline construct of the Zorn-Tech military, began charging weapons, a typical response to an unknown threat. But they were about to learn that humanity played by entirely different rules. Jack activated the ship's dark matter field. Space itself seemed to ripple and fold around the U.S. quantum breach. The alien weapons discharge, energy that would have vaporized conventional spacecraft, simply passed through, redirected by a quantum manipulation field that treated weaponry like nothing more than a mild inconvenience. "Full spectrum broadcast," Jack commanded. "Let them hear us." A message transmitted across all known communication frequencies. Not a threat, not a declaration of war, simply a demonstration. The U.S. quantum breach began to phase through the alien vessels, not by moving around them, not by traditional faster-than-light travel, but by existing in a state that made physical barriers meaningless. One moment inside a ship's hull, the next outside, then momentarily existing as pure quantum potential. On the Zorn-Tech command vessel, Senior Navigation Officer Krillax watched in mounting horror. His species had conquered hundreds of civilizations. They had technological superiority that had crushed countless emerging races. And now, this human vessel was making their most advanced technology look like children's toys. "Impossible," Krillax whispered. Elena's laugh was brilliant, triumphant. "Not impossible, just human." The demonstration lasted less than 3 standard minutes. When it was over, the alien patrol was left completely stunned. No weapons fired, no conventional damage sustained, just a complete and total demonstration of technological superiority that defied everything they understood about space, physics, and potential. Jack turned to Elena. "Think they got the message?" Her smile was pure, unrestrained scientific joy. "Oh, they got the message. And the galaxy will never be the same." Back on the alien vessels, communication systems were in total disarray. Sensor logs would be analyzed for decades. But one thing was crystal clear. Humanity had just announced its arrival on the galactic stage, and they weren't asking for permission. The first encounter was complete. The revolution had begun. The Galactic Council chamber erupted in chaos. Holographic displays flickered with the now infamous recording of the U.S. quantum breach's first encounter, each replay sending another wave of shock through the assembled alien representatives. Ambassador Krillax of the Zorn-Tech delegation stood trembling, his crystalline exoskeleton reflecting the harsh light of 1,000 accusatory stares. "This is impossible," he repeated, though everyone knew repetition wouldn't change reality. The Archons, a silicon-based species known for their hyperlogical approach, were the first to propose a solution. Their lead representative, a geometric construct of interconnected crystal nodes, projected a holographic strategy. "Immediate containment," the Archean representative stated, its voice a precise mathematical frequency. "The human species must be quarantined. Their technological potential represents an unacceptable variable in the current galactic equilibrium." But not everyone agreed. Zarakan, a rogue Nexari ambassador, stood in stark contrast to the panic-driven proposals. Her iridescent skin shifted colors with her emotional state. Right now, a mixture of excitement and calculated defiance. "Containment," she challenged, her voice cutting through the chamber's tension. "We're looking at the most significant technological breakthrough in galactic history, and you want to suppress it." The chamber fell silent. Deep within the Council's secure communication networks, encrypted messages flew faster than light. Some factions were already preparing military options. Others saw opportunity. A few recognized the fundamental shift happening before their eyes. Unknown to the public proceedings, a secret communication channel activated, Zarakan's encrypted transmission reached a hidden receiver, Dr. Elena Rodriguez. "They're afraid," the Nexari ambassador's message read. "But some of us remember what it means to truly evolve." The backstory was complex. Centuries ago, the Nexari had been an emerging species much like humanity. They understood the delicate dance between potential and persecution. While other galactic powers sought to maintain their technological monopoly, the Nexari saw something different in humanity's breakthrough. Meanwhile, back on Earth, a parallel political storm was brewing. A faction within the United Earth government saw the dark matter technology as a potential threat. Military leaders who had been sidelined, political operatives with old grudges, bureaucrats terrified of losing control, they formed a coalition to potentially negotiate humanity's surrender to the Galactic Council. Commander Jack Harper intercepted their communications. His network of disgraced military contacts and underground intelligence operatives provided a steady stream of classified documents. "They're going to sell us out," he told Elena during a secured quantum-encrypted communication. "Some would rather capitulate than fight." Elena's response was immediate and fierce. "Not on my watch." The quantum drive technology wasn't just a scientific achievement. It was a declaration of human potential. Every calculation, every breakthrough represented generations of human curiosity, resilience, and an unbreakable spirit of discovery. Back in the Galactic Council chamber, the debate reached a fever pitch. The Archons proposed a resolution for immediate intervention. The Zorn-Tak military faction demanded preemptive strikes. But something had changed. The recording of the U.S. quantum breach demonstration had spread, not through official channels, but through the vast communication networks that connected billions of sentient beings across multiple star systems. Zarakan watched the reactions carefully. This wasn't just a technological breakthrough. This was a cultural revolution. "We are witnessing the emergence of a new galactic power," she said softly, knowing her words would be recorded. "And nothing will ever be the same." The political firestorm was just beginning. Humanity had not just entered the galactic stage. They had set it ablaze. The underground research facility stretched for kilometers beneath the Atacama Desert, a testament to human determination hidden from the prying eyes of both terrestrial and extraterrestrial observers. Hundreds of the brightest minds humanity could assemble worked around the clock, pushing the boundaries of dark matter manipulation beyond anything previously imagined. Dr. Elena Rodriguez stood at the center of a massive holographic display, her fingers tracing quantum equations that danced like living entities. Each line of code, each mathematical representation was more than just scientific notation. It was a weapon, a shield, a key to unlocking humanity's potential. "The consciousness interface is the real breakthrough," she explained to a team of neurologists, quantum physicists, and former Special Forces cognitive specialists. "Traditional alien technologies treat ships as machines. We're creating living systems that respond to human thought at a quantum level." Prototype dark matter warships began to take shape. Unlike their predecessor, the U.S. quantum breach, these vessels were designed for multiple configurations. One moment, a sleek combat vessel. The next, a research platform. Then potentially a diplomatic shuttle, all controlled by the nuanced thoughts of its human crew. Commander Jack Harper oversaw the personnel selection with surgical precision. This wasn't just about technical skills. They needed individuals with specific psychological profiles, people who could maintain coherence while existing simultaneously in multiple quantum states. Maria Gonzalez, now Chief of Quantum Navigation, developed a training program that pushed human cognitive capabilities to their absolute limit. Pilots underwent simulations that would have driven conventional minds to complete breakdown. They learned to think in multiple dimensions, to perceive reality not as a fixed state, but as a fluid concept. The Nexari ambassador Zarakan provided critical intelligence. Encrypted transmissions revealed the panic spreading through the Galactic Council. Some species were calling for outright war. Others were frantically trying to understand the technological leap humanity had achieved. "Your consciousness is your greatest weapon," Zarakan's encrypted message read. The other species see technology. We see something far more dangerous: human potential. Each new warship became a quantum marvel. The dark matter drive wasn't just a propulsion system. It was a living ecosystem that responded to human intention. Weapons that could phase through conventional defenses, shields that could redirect entire energy barrages, communication systems that could transmit information faster than light by existing in multiple states simultaneously. Jack watched a test run of the newest prototype. A young pilot, Lieutenant Sarah Chen, sat in the control interface. Her brain waves integrated directly with the ship's quantum matrix. The vessel didn't just respond to her commands, it became an extension of her consciousness. Dimensional shift initiated, Sarah reported, her voice calm despite existing in multiple realities simultaneously. Targeting systems online. Quantum entanglement at 98% synchronization. The ship began to shimmer, its molecular structure becoming fluid. It could become invisible, teleport, or exist in multiple locations at once. Traditional concepts of space and time meant nothing. In the Galactic Council's most secure chambers, representatives watched in growing terror. This wasn't just a technological advancement. This was a complete reimagining of what was possible. The technological arms race had begun. But humanity wasn't just competing. They were rewriting the rules of engagement entirely. Elena looked at the holographic display, a smile playing on her lips. "We're just getting started," she whispered. The universe was about to learn that humanity's greatest strength wasn't its technology. It was its imagination. The secure communication room in the United Earth Government headquarters was supposed to be impenetrable. Layers of quantum encryption, bioauthentication, and multi-dimensional security protocols protected its secrets. But secrets, Commander Jack Harper knew, were always vulnerable to human weakness. His cybernetic interface tapped into the system, lines of code dancing across his vision like living entities. The conspiracy was more extensive than anyone had imagined. High-ranking government officials were actively negotiating humanity's surrender to the Galactic Council, trading human sovereignty for a promise of limited autonomy. "Got you," Jack muttered. The evidence was damning. Encrypted communications revealed a plan to essentially hand over humanity's dark matter research, dismantling the quantum warship program in exchange for a minor seat in the Galactic Council's lower chambers. Political leaders who had once talked about human potential were now preparing to clip humanity's wings before they could truly fly. Dr. Elena Rodriguez's voice crackled through the secure channel. "We're ready to broadcast. Are you certain about this?" Jack's response was immediate. "They left us no choice. At precisely 300 hours global time, every communication channel on Earth and beyond erupted with the truth. Personal devices, government networks, civilian broadcasts, all simultaneously displayed the complete set of surrender negotiations. Raw, unedited communications that showed how close humanity had come to voluntary subjugation. The uprising began almost instantly. Military units loyal to the quantum warship program mobilized. Underground networks that Jack and Elena had cultivated for years sprang into action. It wasn't just a political revolution. It was a fundamental reimagining of humanity's place in the universe. In the Atacama Desert Research Facility, Lieutenant Sarah Chen brought the latest quantum warship to full alert status. "All systems online," she reported. "Quantum drive at maximum potential." The ship wasn't just a weapon. It was a statement. Zarakin, the Nexari ambassador, played her most dangerous card. Encrypted transmissions revealed the full extent of the Galactic Council's historical suppression of emerging species. Humanity wasn't the first civilization they had tried to control, but they would be the first to truly resist. "Your potential terrifies them," her message read. "They've spent millennia preventing any species from challenging their technological monopoly." Government buildings went into lockdown. But lockdowns meant nothing to ships that could phase through solid matter. Communication networks that were supposed to be secure became conduits of revolution. Jack's voice broadcast across every channel. "We are not asking for permission. We are declaring our right to exist, to explore, to evolve." The betrayal exposed more than just a political conspiracy. It revealed the true nature of humanity's potential. Every attempt to contain them had only made them stronger, more determined. In orbit, quantum warships began to materialize, not as an act of aggression, but as a declaration of independence. They existed simultaneously in multiple states, a metaphor for humanity's refusal to be confined by anyone's expectations. Alina's scientific team had become something more than researchers. They were revolutionaries. The Galactic Council watched in horror as humanity did something no species had ever done before. They weren't just fighting back. They were rewriting the fundamental rules of engagement. Jack looked at the holographic displays, watching the revolution unfold. "We're changing everything," he said softly. The betrayal had backfired spectacularly. Instead of containing humanity, it had unleashed their true potential. The uprising had begun, and the universe would never be the same. The void of space erupted with impossible geometry. Galactic Council battle groups converge, their combined fleet representing centuries of technological dominance. Thousands of vessels, crystalline Zorn-Tak warships, energy-based Archon constructs, living biomechanical entities from a dozen advanced civilizations, formed a tactical formation designed to crush any emerging threat. They were about to learn the true meaning of human innovation. The human quantum warship fleet didn't just arrive. They manifested. One moment, empty space. The next, a constellation of vessels that defied every known law of physics. The U.S. Quantum Breach led the formation, commanded by Jack Harper, with Dr. Elena Rodriguez managing the quantum interfaces from the primary research station. Quantum synchronization at maximum, Lieutenant Sarah Chen reported. Her consciousness merged with the ship's dark matter matrix. All vessels linked. "We are ready." The first Galactic Council weapon discharge should have vaporized entire squadrons. Instead, the human ships simply phased, existing simultaneously everywhere and nowhere. Energy weapons passed through them like light through mist. Missiles that could destroy planets became nothing more than mild inconveniences. Jack's voice remained calm. "Demonstrate our capabilities." The quantum warships began to dance. They moved not through space, but through the very fabric of reality. One vessel would materialize inside an enemy ship's hull, exist for a microsecond, then phase out, leaving behind pure quantum chaos. Another would redirect entire energy barrages, turning an opponent's most devastating weapon into a harmless light show. The Zorn-Tak fleet commander, Krolax, watched in mounting horror. Tactical systems collapsed. Targeting computers went insane. His most advanced sensors could not comprehend what they were witnessing. "This is impossible," he repeated, a mantra of disbelief. Alina's scientific team had transformed warfare into a quantum art form. Each human ship was more than a weapon. It was a living, thinking entity that responded to human consciousness at a level no other species could comprehend. Entire Galactic Council battle groups simply ceased to exist as coherent entities, not destroyed, not defeated in any conventional sense, simply unmade by a technological approach so advanced it was indistinguishable from magic. Zarakan, watching from a diplomatic vessel, understood what was truly happening. This wasn't just a battle. This was a fundamental revolution in understanding existence itself. They're not just fighting, she transmitted to her Nexari colleagues. They're teaching the universe a lesson. The battle lasted 12 standard minutes. When it concluded, not a single human vessel had been damaged. The Galactic Council fleet, representing the most advanced military power in known space, had been completely neutralized. No conventional weapons fired. No traditional destruction occurred. The human quantum warships had simply rewritten the rules of engagement. Jack looked at Elena. "Think they understand now?" Her smile was brilliant, unrestrained. "They're learning." As the last Galactic Council vessels phased out of existence, humanity had sent a message that would echo across generations. They were not asking for a place in the universe. They were claiming it. The battle that rewrote history was complete, and the universe would never be the same. The Galactic Council chamber stood transformed. Where once rigid protocols and ancient hierarchies had ruled, now a new understanding emerged. Dr. Elena Rodriguez walked to the central podium, not as a supplicant, but as a representative of a civilization that had just rewritten the fundamental rules of existence. Her presentation was both a scientific demonstration and a declaration of principles. Holographic displays showed how human quantum technology could revolutionize everything from interstellar travel to medical research, energy production to communication. "We are not here to conquer," Elena stated, her voice cutting through centuries of established galactic politics. "We are here to collaborate, to expand, to evolve." The representatives from various alien civilizations watched in a mixture of terror and grudging respect. The Nexari ambassador Zarakan stood as humanity's unexpected ally, her iridescent skin shifting colors that reflected the complex emotions of the moment. Commander Jack Harper stood at the periphery, his cybernetic systems monitoring every potential threat. The quantum warship fleet maintained a subtle presence, not as a show of force, but as a quiet reminder of humanity's newfound capabilities. The aftermath of the battle had changed everything. The Galactic Council was no longer a hierarchical structure of control, but a potential platform for genuine cooperation. Humanity hadn't destroyed the existing order, they had fundamentally transformed it. "Our technology is an invitation," Elena continued, "not a weapon." The quantum drive principles they shared could solve energy crises for entire civilizations. Medical applications could extend lifespans, cure diseases that had been considered impossible to treat. Communication technologies could bridge gaps between species that had existed for millennia. But it was more than just technological exchange. Humanity had demonstrated something far more profound. They had shown that potential was not something granted, it was something seized. That innovation was not about permission, but about imagination. Lieutenant Sarah Chen, now a key diplomatic liaison, explained the quantum consciousness interfaces, how human creativity could be amplified through technological symbiosis, how consciousness itself could be a form of exploration. The Archons, once the most rigid and controlling of the galactic powers, began to see opportunity where they had previously seen only threat. The Zorntak military faction recognized that true strength was not about suppression, but about potential. Jack approached Elena after the presentation. "They're actually listening," he said quietly. Her smile was both scientific and deeply human. "We're just getting started." The quantum warship program transformed. No longer just a military project, it became a collaborative exploration initiative. Human vessels would work alongside other species, sharing knowledge, pushing the boundaries of what was possible. Zarakan's final transmission to her own people captured the essence of the moment. Humanity did not conquer the galaxy. They invited it to reimagine itself. As the first joint exploration missions were planned, it became clear that this was more than a technological breakthrough. This was a cultural revolution. The universe had changed, and humanity had changed it, not through destruction, but through the most powerful force in existence, unbridled potential.